So I can never remember if I toured the camp or not. I think I did, but this is the kitchen area. We drug the elk antlers out of the river and put them back up. Now you can't see it, but we camped just over here in this area here in the trees, right on the riverbank. Last night something splashed through the water and woke us all up, and then a second one splashed through the water. Looking at the tracks there across the river that we can see, I believe it was elk, but there's a carcass right at the end of our camp, and I don't think anybody slept after they heard that. Fire's out, camp's been checked, and we are out. Got about 3 miles to go to our first river crossing. I don't know how big it's going to be, but not as big as the last and bigger than others. And we missed this trail on the way in because it's right against the bank and it sloughed off. Yeah, right there was the old trail. Yeah, so we were going by and we saw a bear pole, and it's super close to the trail. And we thought, like, there's no way there's a campsite right here. Ooh. Kind of fresh poop, like still has hanging out right here. Still has flies in it. Bear poop. Oh, it's a cub. It's a what? Oh yeah, and somebody brought a bucket and left it here. Anyway, I said there's no way, it's way too close to the trail. You can see or hear my crew is right there, but there's the bear pole. I don't see a fire pit. 6x7 is close to the river, but it's not near as nice as 6x6. Is that where the fire pit is? Because I haven't found that yet. Oh, fire pit right here. I'm standing right next to it. And it has been dug out. Oh, that one still has the skull on it. Yeah, that's a lot of big bull elk killed. 4, 5, 6. 6x6s. A lot of big bull elk killed in this area. I'm not going to comment on whether I like wolves or not, but there's sure a lot less elk and moose in the park since they let them go. Okay, yeah, 6x6, definitely the best campsite in the area. So yeah, this is properly not warm. Holy crap. I mean, you'd think with all this deadfall going through here, we could just cross a tree, but they were all really not great tree or crossings. Oh. I did spare my pants. Okay. I did spare my pants, but I'm afraid if this is the smaller of the crossings, holy cow, that's cold. The next two big ones are going to just be proper crossings. Holy crap. Sorry, I couldn't get out of that fast enough.
That's a numbing.
All right, so it appears as though the river there kind of went into three little streams, or there was a creek and then two rivers, but the river has joined the creek because the river crossing we were all fired up about ended up being dry piles of rocks. So we have stopped and had us a little snack and put our dry shoes back on. We're back on the trail. They also have done a bunch of work, and it's, you know, it's kind of my fault more than anything. I'm following I have the Nat Geo map on my Gaia that has all the trails and all the campsites and everything on it, and I also have the paper map of it. And I'm trying to follow it, and they have come through this spring, and they redid the crossing further down, so we went up way higher than it was, made it way more difficult than it needed to be, because they know the river changed course and I didn't. So I tried to follow the old trail, and they've made a new one. So pay better attention. So this peak here to the right, the east, is Turret Peak, I believe. It's up high. And then over here kind of in front of us is Tabletop, something like that. And when we were at 2-3 campsites ago and we saw them, they were in a row. And it took us a while to figure out what they were named, but I figured as far as away as they were closer to Cody than in the park, but they're in the park. Some wild peaks. And this obviously burned not very long ago. The trees aren't very big. Okay, so the last crossing, Steph fell down and ended up like laying sideways, sitting in the creek. So she's all wet now, and it's not as hot as it has been. There's a pretty good wind, so she's cold. That last rock moves, everything else was solid. So anyway, we're gonna go up in here and eat something and see if we can dry her out a little bit. Keep on moving, that's all you can do here. That was Trappers Creek that we just crossed. All right, so we stopped and had lunch, let Steph dry off a little bit. Josh has an Osprey pack and has an adjustable shoulder strap on the back, and it somewhere broke and is gone. So his pack was only being supported by this side, right side shoulder strap. So if you're going to be backpacking, part of your first aid kit, at least I put it in my first aid kit, I have gear tape, shoe goo, crazy glue or some sort of glue like that. Can be either first aid or gear repair, and some sort of string or paracord or something. We were able to whip up a sling out of some paracord and put his pack back together. We are 23 miles from the trailhead, which is a long way with a blown out shoe or a backpack that isn't working correctly. But we're back on the trail, cruising again. Okay, you can see our crew there. This is the trailhead, their spur trail to 6C1, not 8, 6C1. Double bear hang. Fire pit and just open meadows. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't a stock one.
This might be where those rangers stayed, because it's pretty packed.
No, there's a cabin. Yeah, we just ran into some rangers, but they were packers. I just keep learning about more and more cool gigs. Yeah, somebody has come here with a chainsaw, so for sure this would be a horse pack. No one's cutting that kind of wood by hand. Anyway, yeah, horse packer for the Yellowstone National Park. Let's restock cabins. This was a man and a wife, so it's not like when you're gone for 10 days at a time, anybody else misses you. But that's all there was to that one. The Yellowstone River, I think it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But it's had Trappers Creek drop into it, the Mountain something creek drop into it.
Mountain Pass Creek, no.
Yeah, that one. They've dumped into it. And then we're going to have Beaverdam Creek dump into it before it dumps into the lake.
All right.
So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I wish the Bear River was that big. Of course, you wouldn't have a meadow. Well, look how wide it is, yeah. Crazy wide for the amount of water this has to take in the spring when we're running off.
just noticing this big log jam and those big rocks and the amount of force it would have took to pile them all up, but they haven't dammed the river. And you won't be able to see it on video. I don't think my camera's that good, but we can just over the top of the trees start to see the Yellowstone Lake. It would be the southeast arm, which is where we're headed. We have another ford coming up, according to my map, and then the patrol cabin here within a mile or so. And the ford is first. We actually ought to be coming up on it. Look at that conglomerate rock. I'm not really a geologist, but it looks like somebody poured a ball of cement and rolled it through some rocks. All coming off the cliffs above us. Crunchy bear poop. I was all excited on Beckler. We saw one set of wolf crap and then a couple piles of bear crap, and I mean we're seeing 10 to 20 plus a day on this trip. Not so much bears, but they do leave a mess behind them. Alright, so it's a stupid mistake. I have enough batteries and I've kept them going on my Insta360, but I know I've cleaned my card off before I came here, but my memory card went full, so it's useless now. So I'll be on my iPhone. A little different record quality and sound quality. Alright, we had one more water crossing. It was only like 15, 20 foot wide, but it was knee deep. So we took it, but we are to 5E1, which is our campsite. The last thing you do is climb up this hill. You can see the rest of my crew coming up here. Not sure about water up here. I think the source was down there, so we all filled our bottles, and then we fill our filter 1 2-liter bottle and then fill the other one. So we'll have, Steph and I each have a 1.5 liter bottle plus 4 liters of water for camp. That's good enough for drinking and water for dinner and breakfast. When we get into camp though, I will give you the grand tour. So this is where we ended up setting our tent up at. We were having dinner and it just sitting around a fire and it just kind of started raining, but the okay, that's what I wanted to record. It's still going on. That was one lightning strike, and the echo from it just keeps going back and forth and back and forth. And there it ended. Like one lightning strike and we get 30 seconds of thunder. It's really awesome. All right, I promised to walk through the camp. Here is the fire area, bear hang. Some of these camps, they want, you're supposed to camp 1,000 feet from the bear hang. And some of these camps, there isn't that an option. So here is where most people tent up. We actually went for the view. You're up on this bench right here on the view. Is spectacular. This spot out here, we made it maybe 50 yards from the bear hang, but that's about as far as you can get here. It just turns into forest. So this is where I camped. Dustin camped here. And you know, where are you gonna set up in that? So that is the, right here, the southeast arm of Yellowstone Lake. We're going to hike to it directly this morning with Beaverdam Creek right underneath us. There was no bathroom here, but we just found a little spot along the canyon edge here with a view like this. How could things not come out all right?